Welcome back.
Welcome.
Welcome back. I am, as always, Crypto Creep, Flash Attack Jack, and welcome to Agents of Calamity.
Woo!
And I, as always, am not alone.
Hey, it is your one and only American Johnny Chaos.
Johnny Chaos!
Hey! But really, I'm just this guy, AI version.
It's true.
It's how great AI has become. You can make your own podcast by yourself with multiple characters.
I'm doing this all by myself, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just an illusion.
So you know, Johnny Chaos is not real. He is a split part of my brain.
Fourth dimensional character.
He's a fourth dimensional character. Nothing to do with me. Well, everything to do with me. But I don't know anything that he's thinking, dude. AI. So everything you see here, none of it's real.
Allen Iverson.
What am I thinking right now? Dude, what do you mean, Allen Iverson, dude? I don't know, Kobe joke would have been greater. But yeah, we were just talking about some stuff earlier. And for you cryptid fans, cryptozoology fans out there, follow the group. You know my love for the cryptid, the spooky. I'm wearing a goddamn Skinwalker shirt, if you know what the hell they are. If not, stay tuned. Future episode, maybe. But did you know, other me, that there are fucking mermaids? Not only are there mermaids, but in Pennsylvania.
Pennsyltucky mermaids.
Pennsyltucky mermaids, dude. Other me.
It's true.
It is true.
It's true.
Other me sent me a shot on the other phone, and it was about the pirates and ghosts of paranormal. Paranormal. Could you explain what the book was?
Pirate, ghost lore, and piratical lore from the northeast coast of America.
Northeast coast.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that Pennsylvania would fall into this this little hemisphere.
Book of lore.
But it did.
There's a nice section of Pennsylvania in there. Matter of fact.
Like what? Like.
Oh, Pennsylvania is rich in piratical history. Even though we're not a coastal borderline, we're not out on the Atlantic, but we have shipping ports, that come up. We got the Delaware River.
Okay.
And going up past Philly, in between Jersey and PA. We got the Chesapeake.
Okay.
Then also
Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah. The mouth of the Chesapeake's right at the the end of the Susquehanna there, which comes out of PA and then it starts into down there. But we got a bunch of pirate history here, I guess, in Pennsylvania. We are a piratical state.
That's fucking cool as
Which
shit.
is wild.
I love pirates.
Dude, pirates. Who doesn't? Always be yourself. But if you can't be yourself, be a pirate.
Be a pirate.
Right? That's what the saying is. I think that's a good one to live by, personally.
Didn't you say one of the most famous pirates? Like, if you had to name some pirates right now, like what?
Who would you name? Name a pirate. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Post it below.
Post it below.
Free shirt. Let me do it.
Like, tag, comment.
But didn't you say something about fucking... Like, I know Captain Kidd. I know Blackbeard.
Blackbeard. They claim that Blackbeard, his mistress, was in Pennsylvania. So Blackbeard was a frequent visitor to Pennsylvania when he wanted to come and snuggle up with the mistress.
Was she a like, no.
No, it was his mistress. It was his lady.
But wouldn't that like entitle that like because I don't think Blackbeard was married, right?
Blackbeard was married like he had like 13 wives, they claim.
Holy fuck!
They say he fell in love with a lady at every seaport that he spent time in.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how? Like that's got to be the life though. You can just sail around.
He was a ruthless bastard, but he had a soft heart for the ladies.
They I know like a lot of like the legend and folklore, like he would like tie like burning matches into his beard.
Yeah, wicks and matches and yep.
To look like the devil.
Oh
like,
yeah, smoke was coming out of his beard and sparks and yep, he would go into battle. That's a rumor.
And he was killed though, right? Didn't they catch him?
Yeah, they got him in Ocracoke Inlet.
Ocracoke Inlet.
Yeah.
What happened to him? What did they
I believe it's his ship might have ran aground on a sandbar. I'm not 100% positive, but he was kind of stuck in a smaller area, Ocracoke Inlet, behind North Carolina, actually, for those that don't know. Cape Hatteras.
Okay.
And then Ocracoke is a small island after that, but behind there's, Ocracoke Inlet. And I think it's like Palacomo River or something like that.
Okay.
But, yeah, they got him back there, and there's a big old battle. And I guess he had like multiple stab wounds and bullet holes was still going. And finally they killed him, and then they said they cut his head off and hung it off the bow of the boat.
Okay, I think I remember hearing this.
And then his dead body swam around the boat like so many times.
What?
Yeah, without the head or some shit, because it was the ghost of Blackbeard haunting him.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because he was a demon or whatever they claimed.
The devil.
They claimed he was the devil. Mm-hmm.
That's like, imagine that life, dude.
Oh man, yeah, it's
running from those people, because they had like, I know England had like literal people hired to like chase down pirates.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, all the countries did.
And Blackbeard was just the most popular, most
feared, supposedly. One of the most feared.
Don't they say like you put up the black flag?
Yeah, he was like a pirate's pirate.
He kill everyone, no quarter, right?
Yeah, no quarter given. He was a ruthless one. No, he was actually known to free a lot of slaves and take them. Like if they wanted to join up with his crew, he'd free them. And,
no shit. What if you didn't want to join up with his crew?
Well, I don't know.
Walk the plank?
Walk the plank, I guess.
Is that like...
I don't know. Marooned. Who knows?
That'd be horrible, dude.
But yeah.
You think about being on a boat in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my goodness.
And it's not like the plank that's the scary part. It's the fact that you're jumping off the plank, landing on water, and that boat's just going away.
It's gone. Your chance of survival is nowhere.
There's like sharks out there.
There's everything out there. Yeah, it's insane.
You can't see beneath you and shit.
Well, what they used to do, they say more than like the whole walk the plank thing, is so they would tie like a rope, right, to your feet and to your hands, and they'd throw you over, right, and the rope, basically they'd pull it from one side and it would drag you under the boat, right?
What?
Yeah, so like imagine the boat's here, throw you off of this side and the rope's, underneath the boat to the other side of the ship, and they fucking pull you and your body drags across the hull of the ship, but there's all the barnacles and all the shit that's stuck to it. So it's just like hundreds of razors that you're just getting scraped across, and it's cutting you and slicing you and fucking... Then you get pulled up, and then you get plunged down again and pulled back the other way. It's called keel hauling.
What?
Yeah.
This is torture.
Keel hauling, just ripping your body to shreds. Fucking back and forth, back and forth.
These guys are assholes. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be like...
Yeah, keel hauling. That was a punishment. And, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that a lot of pirates talk about, though. Fucking mermaids, dude.
Mermaids.
And
yeah,
you ever heard of the sirens?
The siren sounds, yeah.
Would they be classified as a mermaid, do you think?
I feel like it would be.
Would they be? Because I've heard stories of mermaids saying, like, they sing or whatever.
Right.
And the sirens thing is they sing and lure sailors
to them,
like towards
yeah.
like an island or a cave.
Something bad, yeah. Usually, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so
but mermaids, don't they like sing to like capture you, like to isn't like the lore with a mermaid is like if you do encounter a mermaid, she'll like she'll woo you,
woo you.
Yeah, she'll woo you and then kill you, type of thing.
I don't know. I've heard the carnivorous.
Okay.
Mermaids story where they lure you close and then with the sex appeal, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yep.
And then they'd eat you.
Then you eat you. Yep.
I've heard the ones where they would lure ships into like low water or rocks
to wreck them. Yep.
And then I've also heard of just the friendly ass mermaids that are like
just checking you out. Just
it's like,
yeah,
oh,
what's this? Yeah.
You got a big old ship or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But mermaids in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. And I think what really grabbed my attention out of what was in that book that you had was mermaids in the Susquehanna.
Mermaids in the Susquehanna.
You're all familiar with the Susquehanna River. It's literally right over there. You know what I mean? It's flooded towns. It's like the main river. I don't know.
They say it's the oldest river in America, isn't it?
Is it?
I guess so.
I know is it the main one in Pennsylvania, though?
Yes. Besides, I mean, the Delaware River runs alongside of Pennsylvania,
But is it runs alongside...
Like, it goes, it touches PA, but a lot of, there's parts of Delaware that touch Jersey,
Okay.
Like, Delaware River's just bigger. But in Pennsylvania, I think the Susquehanna's the biggest river, I believe.
Okay. And we were talking
it's the largest unnavigatable river in the country.
Unnavigatable.
Like, not, like, you can't take a ship, like, really the whole distance up it, you know what I mean?
And we were talking about this, and that's probably...
Or a boat, really.
But that's because of fucking, like, dams and shit, though, right? And, like...
Well, I mean, that's probably why you couldn't kayak the whole thing. You'd have to get out. Like, you couldn't just go straight down the whole Susquehanna to the Chesapeake without getting out and removing yourself around dams. But prior to dams, I think it was only navigatable by like small ships so far. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that far up it.
Because I've heard stories of Susquehanna being like a lot bigger than what it currently. Like if you go down here,
right? It's shallow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty shallow.
Well, we're on the West Branch too.
We're on the West Branch.
Yep.
Okay, so what is there like a bunch of other?
Well, down in what is it, Sunbury?
Fiber Dam area.
Yeah, it splits and there's a West Branch and then there's, I don't know if it's called the East Branch or the Main Branch.
That's relatively new though because of the Fiber Dam, I thought.
No, I think it just splits in two different sections. And then this one goes up to Williamsport out towards like Lock Haven and all that.
Okay.
And then I don't know where the other one goes. I want to say up in New York, like the main line.
Well, that's where it comes from. It comes down.
Yeah, it goes down all the way to the Chesapeake.
So like I've never heard of fucking mermaids. I've heard of.
I guess there's two claims of it from two different fishermen way back in the day, and I guess there's some claims of it even in Lancaster area as well, which is a little wild. I'm not as well versed on that one, but
right. Well, mermaids in general. Like I mainly picture like out in the ocean, like
right. Right. Yeah, mermaid in the river. That's crazy.
What do you got brought up over here? What do you?
Let's see. It's just some shit on the mermaid.
What can you tell? What can you tell us about these Susquehanna? Fuck, that blows my mind. I've heard of like sea serpents in the
Here's a
Susquehanna.
little thing. It talks about how they're traditionally associated with the open sea. The waters of Northeast America are not immune to tales of mermaids. I guess in 1608, Henry Hudson, the first European to famously sail up the river and explore the bay today, bears his name. Noted that some of his crew spotted mermaids swimming close to the ship.
Like, what could you fucking mistake a mermaid for, though?
That's my thing. Is like, you know.
Because I know down like in like Florida, you could say like manatees.
I mean,
I don't even get that.
Yeah, that's we. I don't know. I can't see that comparison.
Yeah, I don't get it, but that's the thing.
Yeah, but up in a river, in the Susquehanna River, like what would look even remotely like a human fish?
Nothing I can think of.
That's what I mean.
Nothing I can think of.
Can you imagine just being out on your boat fishing the river, and you just see a person looking at you from the water, hair flowing, nice lady with the hair flowing and a fishtail.
How do you envision a mermaid to look? Because I've seen them look like humanoid. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, humanoid.
But I've also seen they look like a perfect human, like a perfect.
I think when they're like, I don't know. I've heard some, you know, of course, movies you see it, but like, you know, when they're out of the water, technically, like they have legs.
I didn't think they had legs.
You know, and then when they are in the water, they're a fish.
Like Aquaman shit, like Jason Momoa, like he had legs one minute, and then he had...
that movie was the kids movie.
My Little Mermaid.
No, there was like a newer movie, like it was like an Italian kid, Luca, or something.
Go on.
And when they were out of the water, they were humans, but if they got wet, they were fish.
So the water
they
makes
like
them...
fish people, yeah.
They're fish people.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, what do male do?
Well, that's what a merman, right?
Mermaid, yeah. What is a merman?
I don't know.
Like?
I don't know. I've never gazed my eyes upon a mermaid. I mean, I'm hoping it's kind of like mystical. You know what I mean? Like humanish looking, but like more like alien also.
Alien,
you know
also.
What I mean?
Alien
like just like
creatures.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it has to look some sort of mystic type.
Would the fucking creature from the Black Lagoon, I think I have a thing up there, would that be classified as a mermaid, or would that be like a mer creature?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they're like
maybe because they were in a lagoon. Maybe it was just like a.
I don't know,
but creature version.
What do mermen look like? That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know.
Because have you ever seen the shit of like the mermaids? Like they always have a tail.
Yeah.
Fish tail from the waist down. So how do they procreate?
I don't know.
Are they laying fucking eggs?
Fish lay eggs, so I don't know.
Are they laying eggs?
That's a good question.
And they're asking for like a merman to like swim by? Or is it, do people's sperm, men's sperm, you know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make more mermen?
Yeah. Mer peoples. I don't know. And is like an ocean mermaid different than a than a river mermaid, like a freshwater mermaid?
Two different species of mermaids.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that kind of shit?
What are your thoughts? Do you think that there was ever mermaids in Pennsylvania?
Do you have any of the accounts of the mermen or any of that shit available right there? Or what do you got?
Well,
regarding the Susquehanna, like, that'd be interesting just to know what the fuck.
Here's a fun fact. Susquehanna flows 444 miles to New York, Pennsylvania, and Maryland.
Okay.
Holds its own tales of mysterious aquatic creatures, including mermaids. In 1881, local newspapers highlighted two fishermen, Henry Lukes and Sam Mattis, who spotted a river siren at least 6 times in the deep waters opposite Dungan Run on the Lancaster County side. the pin on the Google map below. Huh? Just gives you. So yeah, that's like Lancaster area.
It's like getting close to the bay, to the...
Let's see here how close we are to the bay. No, that's far up, dude.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like that's up the river.
It's far up the river.
You should screenshot that and fucking send that to me when I...
Yeah, we'll do that. See, because here's the state line. Dude, that's up almost to freaking... There's Harrisburg.
Oh, shit,
Here's
way
Lancaster, here's York. So it's like in the middle of Lancaster and York. In the river there. And then that's down at the Chesapeake, because... Look. There's the mouth of the Chesapeake right there.
Yep. That'd be a good shot. Definitely send that shot. That's a good one.
But yeah. So let me see if I can find anything on the article. But yeah, that's in Pennsylvania. And Lancaster County side. That's where they saw it.
That's crazy.
The first
Mermaids.
account was June 8th, 1881. Edition of the Lancaster Examiner said the following. One of our oldest fishermen reports the discovery of one of these rare nondescripts in the river, about a mile above town, in the deep water opposite of Dungan's Run. He has already seen it 5 times, always either early in the morning or late in the evening.
So he's seen it's something actively...
Something actively out there.
Out there, and he's saying it's a fucking mermaid.
He says it came to the surface, looks about it, and then gradually sinks down, leaving its hair floating on top of the water for a moment or go, and finally disappears. And they got a really cool way of writing back then, actually.
Yeah, they're very articulate in there.
Yeah. So it comes to the surface, looks about it, then gradually sinks down, leaving its hairs floating on top of the water for a moment.
Susquehanna.
Yep. It has the face of a woman and beautiful glossy black hair, but as it only shows itself down to the shoulders, he cannot tell what the other end is like.
That's wild, but it also makes me wonder, like, how deep is this water?
Right.
And we're talking about how far up it is.
Right.
And, like, how far away was he when he'd seen this shit?
Well, he said he could shoot it, but is afraid. He asked if it had a comb or a looking glass with it. It might have bad, but he didn't see it. I don't know what it's trying to say there. Yeah. And supposes it has a cave somewhere in the bottom of the river under the deep water.
That's what I was also going to ask. Like, where's
the living at?
Where they live at? Do they have dens? Like,
right. Well, he's saying he suspects an underwater cave.
But where about in the Susquehanna are you going to have a fucking underwater cave? Not around here.
And it says he's also, the fisherman above alluded to, is well known in town, and he is considered as reliable as any fisherman on the river. So apparently they were claiming he's not
talking shit.
He's not a kook. Like, he's a river guy, you know.
He's fucking seen it.
And he's seen it at least 5 times, he claimed. Yep.
I think the idea of a mermaid is awesome. The idea of one in the Susquehanna River is even awesomer.
Right.
But couldn't that also be kind of scary? Like, what do they eat? Are they eating fish? Wouldn't that be their people? Are they cannibalistic? Like, are they luring human beings to eat them?
Right.
Or to mate with them? Like, what's
their purpose?
What would be their purpose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Is there large communities of them? Or are they fucking solo artists and shit? You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like there'd have to be communities, and there's that one curious one that, like, you know, wants to see what the human's doing. You know what I mean?
Let's
like,
go up the river.
Like, maybe they just stay in the deep. You know?
Do you think they talk?
I would assume.
Do you think they
communicate in some sort of way? You know what I mean?
Do you think they have gills?
That's another question. I mean, to live underwater, you would have to.
You would think.
You would have to.
Or are they like dolphins and shit?
Like an
they come
amphibious lung, maybe.
Yeah, like they come up and then go down. They come up and go down.
That could be too. They might be coming up for air. That's how people encounter them.
I think it's just wild. You always hear like river stories. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's like serpents and
yeah,
monsters and.
Yeah, I kind of like that shit.
Yeah, but you don't ever hear of a mermaid in the river.
Fucking mermaid in the river.
In a Pennsylvania river.
In a
Pennsylvania river at that. It goes on. There's a second one too.
What do you got?
A second article was published a month later in the Lancaster Intelligencer, and this is from 1881. Shared Sam Mattis's brief encounter. The mermaid. It says the mermaid seen by Henry Locks in the Susquehanna River about 3 weeks ago was seen on Saturday by Sam Mattis nearby Brushy Island. She wore her black hair in beautiful curls, while across her forehead she wore bangs.
See, he's got to be close.
Yeah. Close enough to have the description like that, yeah. Let's see, They were not isolated incidents either. At least 3 more were made on the Susquehanna in 1883, 1912, and 1913.
Okay, so there's 3 of them total.
Yeah, in 1883, an edition of the York Gazette reported the reappearance of the 1881 mermaid with the following article. At Brushy Island on the Susquehanna River, a man from York County was fishing with outlines. On Tuesday morning about 3 o'clock, he heard a strange noise. Turning in the direction of the strange sound, to his surprise, he saw something that had the form of a woman near a large rock. With the upper part of her body exposed to his gaze, he looked at it for 5 minutes before she dived underwater and was seen no more. 2 years ago, a Marietta man saw her, and at that time she wore bangs. When seen on Tuesday, her hair was plaited behind and cut short in the front.
Okay, it's 2 things. Are they seeing the same thing? Or
are they seeing different?
Different. Mermaid.
I don't know. Long curly hair
yeah.
and bangs, that's different than plaits and bangs.
Yeah. So, 2 different mermaids.
Yeah, he saw a dready one.
He saw a dreaded mermaid?
He saw it was one of them concerts.
That brings you back to the question, are they...
concert going mermaids.
Yeah, like you going to Coachella. Mermaids going to Coachella in a week, dude. But so it brings it back, like, how do they live? Like, is there dens?
They would have to have a den. They'd have to have some, I mean... Because I feel like anything that's not swimming 24/7 has some sort of like den to live in.
Yeah, it would have
in the ocean, in a river, and under a rock.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I feel like it would have to.
And then another.
What's it feeding off of? Like, what's its source?
Yeah, what is it
eating?
What I mean?
Like, does it eat like river food, or?
You always hear these stories of like kids going missing in Susquehanna, things like that.
Right.
Now, if these kids are being, I don't know how to word it.
Eaten by sirens?
Yeah, eaten by sirens. And that's secondly, are the sirens and mermaids the same thing? Because those reports don't indicate any singing or vocalization saying that
there's no singing or vocalization.
So that's kind of fucking, like, that's like kind of like the weirdest part to me. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, these reports are just, they see them, or they're
magical?
Or they're looking at them. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, even with that last one, he said she was out of the water, like you could see her top and her hair and all that. And he just stared at her for 5 minutes. Right? So I'm wondering if they're trying to lure you in, where, like, what if he would have went towards her?
Like, oh, this lady needs help.
Right. What if he would have went towards her? Would he have wrecked? Would he have, like, the boat ran aground, or the boat, something happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or would he got eaten?
Right. Or, have you heard this shit about, like, over in, like, the Asia or whatever, the crocodiles are mimicking drowning people. I don't know if you've seen this.
No.
It'll be posted over here right now. They stick their hands out of the water. They look like a drowning child.
Okay.
And people are...
You just have their hands like that.
They're up on their back. Yeah. And all you see is two little...
paws.
Yeah, but from like...
But from a distance it looks
20 feet away, 30 foot away, it looks like two little kids' hands.
Oh, shit.
And then like people go in to rescue them.
And then get grabbed by...
They get grabbed by the crocodiles. And they get eaten.
So they're getting smart. I wonder if they have AI.
Well, I don't know if we do, but if we do... If we do. But, like, you know damn well, like, if we had, like, AI, like, what we get is not what's out there.
Well, hell no.
You know what I mean?
Hell
like,
no.
You're getting the shit end of the stick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better.
You're getting the low bracket.
So I definitely...
controlled form.
Yeah, I definitely know that shit about the crocodiles mimicking drowning.
That's crazy.
That's 100% legit. That's 100% real. No AI involved.
So do the mermaids do that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, they're not. Definitely, they're fucking wet, dude. It'd be horrible to work with computers being all wet and shit. But are they? Yeah, you're gonna fry your fucking motherboard, bro.
Fry your shit.
But like, are they an extinct species? Like maybe at one point in time they did exist.
Right.
You said that article was from 1881 or some shit.
Yeah, 1881, 83, 1912, 1913.
So the latest one was 1913.
Yeah.
That's like 100 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So could they have been real?
Another dude said he saw it while he was fishing at a Susquehanna fishing man. And this is from 1912.
Read it if you can. I don't know. That's old language.
Yeah, it's old language shit here. Trying to find the spot where it's at. It's all about freaking... Who the hell knows? Reports citing a mermaid.
What does that say right there?
And a double-ender turtle. In one afternoon. So this dude's claiming in one afternoon he saw a mermaid and a double-ended turtle.
Oh, I want that
in
picture.
One afternoon. Like, what?
Yeah, get that one. That'd be great. I don't know how real that is, though. It's like a mermaid laying next to a canoe. It'll be over here.
Could there be any truth to these fishy-sounding tales?
You ever see the older clips of people like posting? Like a lot of them are like Indonesia. And
dude,
shit.
this photo's look at that Lancaster Auditorium.
What?
Dude, that photo's from the Lancaster Auditorium. We'll send this photo.
Yep, you'll be seeing it right now.
You'll be seeing it, but it's a whole mermaid laying next to a couple on the side of the river.
Do you ever see like those videos though, or pictures of like?
But she's fishy.
Yeah, that's like
she's really fishy.
That's a real fishy
with a human
looking
top.
I don't know. That's wild. That's wild. I don't know. Do you think maybe they were real and they're extinct now? Because people think that was giants.
Well, they could be, just run off or have moved on to
or
maybe a different dimension. Maybe they made it through the ice wall. They found the hole.
The ice wall?
They found the hole.
That's where they're all at?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's why we can't go to Antarctica.
Agartha, or Tartaria?
Tartaria, yeah.
One's the inside of the earth, the other's...
Yeah, they're all over.
They're fucking everywhere. What about you guys?
Those old maps of all the other lands outside of the ice?
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, maybe they're there. Maybe they've ran.
Or maybe
they got hunted. What do you guys think? I mean, do you believe there was mermaids, mermen's, merpeoples? I mean, at one time.
Honestly, like biologically, I don't see why there wouldn't be.
Well, I mean, think about like there's it's like Indonesia or somewhere in the Pacific. There's a tribe. They live on the water.
Okay.
Like they have like these I don't know if they're floating or what stilt houses, but they literally live in the water, like
on top of it.
Yeah, on top of it, around it, in it. It's their whole life. They aren't on land. They're in the ocean. If you step off like your little sleeping pad, you're in a boat, you're in the water, you're something. But these people, I forget what tribe it is, but these people have adapted over the years. Like they can hold their breath. Like,
oh yeah,
like
spear fishermen, they're
ridiculously
crazy.
long compared to a normal other human. Like they've adapted
Ridiculous.
from living in the ocean, and biologically their body is now altered to be able to hold breath longer under the ground.
No, I've seen this.
So like, you know,
this is real. This
you know,
is not even
if a
questionable.
human can do that, there might have been a human that
And
was
they're-
more aquatic at one time, maybe during the Great Floods.
You ever heard of water apes?
Water what?
Water apes.
Mm.
It was like a totally like parallel version of human evolution. Like everyone says we evolved from the monkeys from like Africa and shit, where others are saying that monkeys can swim.
Okay.
Okay, and we
Oh,
are
shit.
considered primates, so we're technically monkeys. That maybe there was a hominoid, human-esque fucking
Swimming monkey.
yeah that we
Came
descended from.
Oh, what? An aquatic ape.
Aquatic apes.
Holy shit.
We don't know. How do you know? How do you feel about mermaids, guys? How do you feel about pirates, dude?
Pirates and mermaids. What do you think about pirate lore in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, what do you think would even happen?
There's claims to finding coin along the Delaware River.
That'd
like
be so
old
cool.
Spanish coin, old British coin, you know, like old ancient coin that would have been in the piratical time periods.
Piratical. I just like that
I
word.
love it.
Is that a real word?
It is a real word. It's amazing. It's
Piratical.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's all things pirates right there. Piratical.
Fucking
You know?
piratical shit.
Yeah. I mean, but Pennsylvania pirates. Like, you would never think
We're gonna have to do an episode on that.
just
shit.
straight Pennsylvania pirates. Yeah.
That'd be freaking great.
Got a lot of books on those, too.
Well, you let me know and I'll start reading them
Yeah,
too.
we'll get into them.
Hey, guys.
Would you like to hear more about Pennsylvania pirates?
Pennsylvania mermaids.
Mermaids and pirates?
Any creatures, comment below. Type what you want to hear. And also, comment hashtag new AI. Crazy nowadays, ain't it, Johnny?
Ain't it, Johnny?
Ain't it, Johnny? Hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, and share.
This is Agents of Calamity.
Agents of Calamity.
Until next time.
Until the time of next.